won the lanes, but we didn't quite win them hard enough for the game to go in our favor. So we're going to take out the steroid heroes like the Magnus, like the Ogre Magi. They're not going to be able to get their hands on this crazy melee core that just farms like a beast and kills us. We're just going to go even more hard on the laning phase and just try to destroy them in the first 10 minutes. Because that's what this lineup can do. If you're not ready, a couple of TPs can just be the end of your laning phase.
There we have it, ladies and gentlemen, as we get ourselves into Game 2 between NaVi and Alliance. Over the side of NaVi, Ditcheraz, Luna, Seneko, Oracle, Arstar, playing the Shadow Demon, pairing up in that safe lane. And we will be seeing the Dendi Brewmaster rocking it out in the mid. Bottom lane is going to be General on the off-lane Prophet. And over on the side of Alliance, once again, Bulldog on the Bristle, supported by Ake, Kotl, an exact repeat of the performance in Game 1. Loda on Ursa this time instead of the Lifestealer. S4 on the puck. That's a PogChamp. Finally, last but not least, EGM Witch Doctor. Let's see if they've got it in them, NaVi, to bring back and equalise this series, or indeed if Alliance are going to make that magic happen once again. Potentially similar play style as they went for in Game 1 with that Bristle.
They're doing the level 1 room. General is still here.
Oh, baby.
He's baiting it. S4 is baiting General away from the pit, but he might die. He might actually die for this.
Oh, fairy fire!
Oh, it's gonna be worth it to kill Roshan. Oh. It's all worth it to kill Roshan.
Alliance! Oh,
it's okay if they kill Roshan. If they don't kill Roshan, this is really bad.
Oh, General! Can he smell it? He can't smell it!
He didn't see the heroes with the ward because the ward doesn't see through the lane. Oh my god, he's not going to notice. He's not going to see anyone in the lane and he's going to be like, what the hell's going on? And then he's going to see Roshan die and he's going to be like, oh shit, boys. Now we're doing it.
Oh. Well, top lane, NaVi will look to find a second kill. So you get 2 kills, but Alliance got Roshan. The level 1 Rosh. Witch Doctor Ursa, they've done it, and now they're looking for blood. General.
He can TP out. He might be waiting too long though. Oh, EGM doesn't have stun mana. If he checks, he can just TP. He might die though. Yeah, I think he's dead. Yeah, that was a misplay by General for sure. I don't think he checked EGM's mana, because he could have easily TP'd there.
Alrighty. This is an Alliance versus NaVi game.
That was actually really good from S4. Like, even though he died, making that play to ensure the Roshan happened is much bigger than his own life.
Alright. What a way to kick this one off.
Yeah, I guess the other thing too is he only used the Fairy Fire, so he still has his self. Doesn't necessarily have to worry about losing too much regen for that trade. I guess the other thing too that the Admiral Bulldog Ake combo can do in this situation is they can just go jungle. Because obviously having a Trilane against you and a Furion, you don't really feel super safe going to lane, and for obvious reasons.
This is Seneko. Come down looking for the 2-minute rune. I'll make sure he's not going to be able to grab that one as Bulldog takes the bounty. Bottom lane and Invis is there sitting. CS for 6 for 1 against the 8 for 4 of Dendi. Dendi with the slight edge at the moment. Ake comes up to refuel the puck. And bottom lane, Loda. Getting a lot of space now. General has backed up. Loda 12 for 3. Girard 13 for 2. Both safe laners getting the farm they need as the relative off lane pairing is unable to slow down the farm.
I mean, comparatively, it's not like the Furion's getting a lot more, because the Bristleback can go to the jungle, get chakra spam, stack creeps and whatnot, and you will be able to recover. It's actually a very interesting combo. I've seen it a little bit, but not enough to understand fully like how much you can get if you're just jungling. But we have seen it in the past, like teams just completely abandoning the offlane and saying, alright, we're gonna go to jungle until our lane gets pushed in. It's a very common offlane thing. And bottom lane.
The Loda coming in, General being swiped to pieces, Alliance ripping the Nature's Prophet to shreds.
Brutalized, actually.
And this lane, it's going pretty well to say the least for the side of Alliance.
It might be time for General to contemplate going to the woods. Because, Seneko... Okay, he's gonna back off. He actually has Aegis, I thought he would keep going on that. Suppose he didn't have the help of his support Witch Doctor, so just thinking better of it. Oh, he pulled, that's why. He didn't want to go without creeps. That makes sense.
Back on the mid lane, Dendi still with the lead, 16 for 7, 12 for 1. S4 slightly behind. Of course, Ditchera getting the free lane of his life. Bulldog has headed back. He's just going to stack up this side camp. Doesn't want to risk going into lane against NaVi's tools. Top lane, anything good for Dendi? It's just going to be the bounty. Oh no, sorry, no, the bounty was bottom.
Yeah, he got a regen. That's actually the dream.
That is the dream.
I mean, there's no way that Puck really forces Brewmaster out of lane anyway, and you can see that he has the advantage in CS just because of having Drunken Haze. It's a very strong laning utility.
Looks like Loda's just going to use the Aegis now at this point. There's going to be a move in onto EGM. Loda is going to be back up with full health and full mana. Is this strategical Aegis lost? But oh, he's been outtold.
Tango.
He can't get himself out indeed as he fights himself through the tree line, looking to chase down General. One more touch will do it. He'll just pound the ground, and the shocks from the floor send shivers into the spine of General and snap it to pieces.
Yeah, that was a really nice play from EGM. He knows the sprout's coming, just immediately walks over, opens the trees up for Loda there, and they just continue on. And it's good too, because if they weren't crushing this safe lane, I would be relatively concerned. You know, mid still losing a bit, maybe not by a wide enough margin to feel too concerned about it. But
oh, in general, he's come in. S4 has got the ball to get himself away though, so the rotation from General unsuccessful. Won't be able to find any action with that.
He's been feeling a bit out of sorts this series, it seems. Like last game, I suppose he didn't play too bad, but this time around he's given away a lot of kills, even in situations where he could have very easily lived. I don't know if it's just like TI nerves getting to him, but he does not seem to be playing quite the same as I'm used to seeing. And that TP, like, the only way you kill Puck that way is if he already cast Orb. And he had Orb off cooldown, so I'm not really sure what he's been doing this game, but hopefully he can kind of recover from this bit of a jittery start.
Bottom lane, EGM. Is he going to find the bounces? He will. A defensive disruption, but Loda quick to take down Artstyle. Another kill for the Ursa. 4 kills before the 6-minute mark. It's an incredible start for this Loda Ursa, and I mean, net worth-wise, yeah, indeed. You can see already. He's a clear 1k ahead of Ditchera's Luna because of the Roshan and because of the kills he's been involved in. Dendi is going to come around.
Dire's bottom tower
he does have split available.
Dire's
on his own.
Are fortified.
Questionable really of how much he can actually get done here. He does need backup. And maybe just coming down to try and slow down Loda's momentum. But looks to just be a little bit awkward from Dendi. He wanders down and we'll quickly wander back. Nothing achieved with this movement.
I think the grouping up from NaVi is what's going to be really important for this game. Like, once the Luna has the Eclipse going, has the 4 points into Lucent Beam, and you start to see Lunar Blessing get maxed out, that's when the 5-man Death Ball is going to come, and hopefully it's fast enough, because against a Keeper of the Light, and just the overall stamina have, okay, see you later. Artstyle just blasted.
I mean, this bottom lane has been nothing less than a disaster for NaVi.
They need to stop coming down here, because every time they do, it's just death. Every single time. But yeah, I'm waiting to see the 5-man potential of NaVi. The problem is their lanes are actually not going that well outside of top now. Like, because of the fact that, you know, Dendi's been walking around a little bit, he's only halfway to Blink Dagger at 7 minutes. S4 has actually started to pull ahead after giving away the first blood to bait the Roshan out. It's not looking so hot right now for NaVi. I guess we'll have to wait and see when their 5-man comes if they're going to be effective or not.
Yeah, Ditchera's obviously one of the saving graces that they've been looking to. The fact that he is 55 to 14, he's had no issues on this top lane. And we'll see how much a farm Luna can achieve against Alliance's side of this game. And Alliance looks to get more gold into their pockets as they'll take the tier 1 from NaVi. Obviously NaVi unable to react to this one. I just look to put some pressure on the top lane as Ditchera moves in with the help of Artstar, getting those illusions out. Alliance with the tower advantage, and maybe even with a movement up top if S4 gets a good rune. That's just going to be the bounty. Bottom lane, Dendi gets himself another regen. He's going to move across. Has been scanned out here, so they know that Dendi's around. And Dendi again. Hey, he likes to do this walk. Up the stairs, down the stairs. A little bit of a workout for the big boy.
Well, the first time, if it doesn't work, there's pretty obvious that it's either a ward or it got pinged out. So I suppose maybe he's just double checking to see if it was a ward, but yeah, he's not going to find anything. Still have yet to use split. I think it's fine if he just continues to farm until he has blink.
Yeah. Because
you just want to make sure that your first split accomplishes something. And if you have to delay that split by a couple of minutes to make sure your initiation is on point, then I think that's still fine. And truth be told, we're not going to know if NaVi are going to have a good shot in this game until we see that first real team fight break out. Because it can all be flipped on its head very quickly when you have things like Eclipse and Primal Split at your disposal.
Mid lane. Have a bit of a wraparound from Ake. Can't quite make a go on it yet. As indeed S4 just making space for himself to work towards his own Blink Dagger. And talking about Blinks, Loda, he's got the money for it to be done. Now heading to the shop, picked up one up immediately. And now NaVi have to be even more careful about sending heroes down here. Fortunately for themselves, they have started to stop the flow of sending down the free kills to the bottom lane. As the general, of course, continues to farm up in the safety of the jungle. This bottom lane is a little bit of a nightmare. Artstyle, oh, he's been brave enough to reveal himself. We'll see if Loda's tempted to go ham.
Well, he did hit 6, so I'm not sure if he's going to be sticking around the area that much longer. The other thing, too, is unless Artstyle has very slow reactions, I don't think that the solo kill from the Ursa is going to happen. Because if you blink in, you get disrupted, and if you're still chasing after that, you can just get purged. Yeah. So I don't know if he's going to be able to get that kill all on his own.
I can see S4.
Even gets the rune.
And orbs out as well. There's not enough catch from NaVi to deal with. Of course, that play from the puck and Artstyle.
Oh, he's dead.
Big turn around with the disruption. Demonic Purge onto Loda. That's fantastic control from Artstyle. It's going to allow the rest of NaVi to make a move towards Loda and EGM. But Loda and EGM already out far too quickly. But at the least, as you said, we saw exactly there why the Shadow Demon is a hard target to jump on.
The other thing too is Loda actually used his blink to get to where he was instead of saving the blink to get in. So when he put the illusion on him, his blink was still 5 seconds on cooldown regardless, and Loda would not have been able to close the gap either way.
Dire's middle tower
they are going to smoke though.
Attack.
They know that Roshan's up real soon.
Yes, a little bit unfortunate for Alliance here. It is the longer respawn, so they won't find it quite yet. Maybe they can make a kill happen out of this smoke instead. Artstyle's alone towards the bottom.
And Dendy's blinks on that courier.
Dire's structures are fortified.
Anybody may want to make a play here. Has Ditchara around as well with the Eclipse. They'll smoke up. And let's see if they can find the opening. Dendy moving in, jumps immediately onto Ake. It's going to be a split for a Kotal kill. Can they actually get themselves anything else out of this? S4 already moving out to the north, but they've got the presence of General. Sprouts up and bursts down S4. Seneko with the nukes. NaVi get themselves 2. Be able to transition this into a push onto the tier 1 mid.
Yeah, this is what we were kind of talking about when NaVi wanted to fight around split. First blink split, it's going to pretty much result in a tower.
Radiant's
they killed the best heroes
attack.
at deep pushing. They killed the Coddle and the Puck together. So even with the use of the glyph, this tower is going to be dropping here. They are TPing in though.
And they do have Coil, of course, available in 5 seconds. Fortification already being used. Bulldog will head forward. It's going to put a bit of a stop to NaVi's push. Still sticking around. NaVi playing with this. They don't get the tower.
That's actually really bad. You want towers every single time you split. I mean, sure, they got a pretty high priority kill, and they killed the Coddle as well. But that's, honestly, that's not good enough.
Oh, look at this, Loda. He's trying to go for the road. He's been spotted out and taken down by NaVi.
That'll work. That's a good one. That's something that they actually needed. Like, since they didn't get the actual tower kill, and it's not even in the deny range or anything like that, they don't get the map presence they're looking for from their first primal split. So the fact that Loda just died there kind of equalizes the fact that they didn't kill the tower. Because now they don't have to worry about Roshan being contested, and they have time to adapt whenever, you know, Loda respawns. So that death actually hurts Alliance a bit.
Tower is under attack.
Well, the hero down, NaVi, maybe they got the space to try and finish off this tier 1 mid. Still 3 positioned around it. General's headed up top to hold the fort against S-Force's push. Oh, teasing them here. EGM coming across. So we can see on the bottom lane, Ditchara headed down, looking to use the space to continue to find the farm on the Luna. And we could see how much he's been able to close the gap against Loda's Ursa as well. You know, this is an Ursa that's had numerous kills and did get their level 1 Roshan. But Luna managed to farm up. Ditchara about to hit level 11, and he's all but closed the gap.
I mean, he's got way more CS than the Ursa. It's just the fact that they've killed the tower, they got Roshan, and obviously he's got 4 kills. So all the difference being made up between those things, and Just waiting on the next split here for NaVi. What is with Dendi having regens? Like, every time I look at him, he has a freaking regen.
It's got to be his third, yeah.
I think, yeah, that actually is his third regen, which is, I think, the most amount of regens you can get because the same rune can't spawn twice. That is actually ridiculous. Alright. So splits back up. I'm assuming they're just going to be fighting around mid again. Potentially just get the tower and then back off. They could also go for like this dual poke where they have General in the top lane as well.
See what they can achieve with the smoke. Pings out onto Loda. You know, Loda's desperately been looking for an opening to get back in onto the Roshan. But NaVi, they're coming straight for him, and Loda, he's all alone. You can see General was looking to try and find a way to TP in and get the Sprout off NaVi. How heavy do they want to dive? There's be TPs from Alliance coming in. Dendi jumps in with the split, looking to go on to Loda. Loda gets the blink off though. The fortune's out with the purge off there with the ultimate. Now there's the control from Dendi, but the TPs are coming in from Alliance. They're going to be ready to fight it. Oh, we have the jump in S4. 3-man coil, 3-man silence, but immediately has to get himself back out. Alliance forced back.
This is not good for NaVi though. They're like behind enemy lines and they do not have enough health to continue to push. So Neko needs to heal people.
Bottom tower is under attack.
Need to be very careful indeed about Alliance potentially jumping back in. And of course have the coil, so Alliance will lose the tier 1.
Bottom tower has
As you said, no bloodshed from either side.
Middle tower
that's okay though. If the split results in a tower, that's fine. No kills, obviously not great because they didn't get the Ursa, but the tower is what they came for.
But nice reactions from Alliance, and understandable as well with, you know, the impression that NaVi were applying. There was a lot of time for Alliance to head down there, and just things are cool. Just like S4 hitting the 3-man coil and silence, just stopping NaVi from being able to do anything else there.
Yeah.
In that fight.
You know, we're talking a lot about this push and everything from NaVi, but if you look at Bulldog, like he's got a Crimson Guard pretty much, or he has a mech soon if he wants to go mech instead. I think either item is going to be very impactful for the fights because a lot of the damage that NaVi deal right now is pretty much just right clicks. Like Furion with the trees, Luna giving the Lunar Blessing, and then illusions from the Shadow Demon. Brewmaster does a fair amount of right click as well. Once he has the item complete and he just starts being this beefy frontline hero, looks like he will be going to mech by the way, instead of the Crimson. Things are going to get kind of tough because I don't think they're going to be able to kill him, like ever.
And especially when you add into that the fact that you look towards Ake, we are 16 minutes and he has a point booster and an Ogre Glove. It is going to be that quick axe timing again. So you add that into the mix and suddenly these pushes are going to get so hard for NaVi.
I see them having a very hard time breaking high ground. Like, maybe not even just high ground, maybe even twos, you know what I mean? Just because of how much Alliance are actually getting out of the map. Because if you look at the CS chart, it's like last hits is 4 out of 6 of the top ones are all on the side of Alliance, and they're all hitting a lot of creeps. So I'm a little bit concerned for NaVi. You know, they're looking to play this fast-paced 5-man.
Immediately, the 3-man collapse with the Loda working on the Shadow Demon disrupts himself. Now backing on, Pascal will get taken down by the Illuminate Blast. Trying to look to clean out these primal splits, but General turning up the Sprout, holding back Loda. Digirard dishing out the damage with the help of Seneco's Muse. To find the kill onto Ursa. S4 hitting the 2-man silence. Coming in with the ward, EGM coming to Dendi's just not quite enough damage. Bulldog's focusing onto Digirard, the False Promise keeping him alive. Loda's brought back, but this one comes in. Strikes away at Digirard, he's going to pop post False Promise. And Alliance can look for more. Dendi, he's going to attempt for the TP out. Can they kill him in time? They can't. He will escape. Alliance hitting back up, but they do of course expend the buyback on Loda, but this can be absolutely worth it because now he's got the space to move into Roche, and NaVi, can they stop this?
I mean, the Shadow Poison might actually be enough. That's a level 4 Shadow Poison. If you get like 5 or 6 stacked, you can just die. Loda needs to be, but he can't continue to get stacked like this. He's gonna die. I think this poison is going to be enough to stop them. Yeah, the rest of NaVi's already alive. Artstyle holding the line here at Roshan.
Absolutely.
Making the buyback from the Ursa not quite as useful as they wanted it to be.
They didn't get the Dendi kill, and they don't get the rush.
Thanks for me.
Now this game is so close right now. It's like NaVi, they take 1 or 2 good fights, get the map control they're looking for, and they could be in the driver's seat and just as easily, you know, Alliance can hit that critical mass when their supports have the items they need, and Bulldog
Alliance really want to do something here with this buyback from Loda. They'll look to R-Stop again. He buys himself time. Disrupts himself up, will still fall on the backlines. Then he's actually jumped him, but he's been mana linked him now. Out of mana, in a bit of trouble. Needs backup from the team. Is he going to come in? Denji tries to turn with the haste to stop Loda punching at him. He's making it hard, but it's not going to be too hard for Alliance. But they will still kill him. And now, 2 down again. They've killed that pesky Shadow Demon. So no poison.
This stack steal too is really painful. They're gonna get the stack and Roshan, and this is so bad for NaVi. Holy moly. This is like worst case scenario. Lose tier 1, lose your ancient stack, lose Roshan in the same fight. Like, dear God, that is
And NaVi, they want to have something to say about this, but the coil from S4 coming in onto 2, silence onto 3, S4 dropping low, he's not going to fall, the death ward's out, you are losing S4, trying to man fight against several Bulldog, he's got the back of the now the eclipse coming through, Didgeridoo moving forward, looking to take down Bulldog, finds the bristleback kill. He will still pop though, the damage he received during the false promise was too much. Loda did manage to finish off Roshan on the back of that, takes the Aegis.
Top tower is under attack.
So again, NaVi coming in to try and stop it. They do take down 2 cores, but they already lose the Ancient Stack and they already lose the Roshan and Aegis to Loda.
This is turning into a very rough game for NaVi. You know, Brewmaster is one of those heroes that if you don't utilize his ultimate properly, you start running into problems because you kind of need your team to be the damage dealers and you're the control. That's what Brewmaster offers. Like, we saw that fight when they were inside of Alliance's woods and he kept throwing up Bulldog with Cyclones to make sure that the hero with a lot of net worth was just eliminated from the fight, and that's fine. Like, that's what you want to do as Brewmaster. But the problem is, at some point, if you keep losing these fights, and Alliance are able to just get these objectives back to back and just get more items and more items. Like, for crying out loud, Ake's gonna have Ags, and EGM has Glimmer and an Ogre Club. Like, these supports are not squishy. They have way too many items. It's just, the pace of the game is not fast enough for NaVi to continue to do more, and they're just struggling to find the openings.
Really on Alliance. Need to push up top. Tier 1 in their sights. NaVi, they want a team fight. They're coming across. Eclipse, still on cooldown, of course, for 50 seconds. They have a primal split from Genji. See what they can do. Genji leading his way in. Takes it immediately onto Loda. Primal split, they're looking for the control. Bulldog on the front lines is incredibly tanky, but good for him at the end. And he's trying to take him out of the fight with Loda. Clears out one of the primal splits. Looks towards Armstar. They've already lost General. The new damage bursting down Loda. He's lost the Aegis. Alliance. Maybe ready to continue to try and chase for more. Loda and S4 ready to blink in, to jump forward. The orb coming through, S4 turning into the fight, silences up Denji, that brings down the Brewmaster. Another kill for Alliance. NaVi never do anything more apart from take the Aegis out of the hands of Loda, but they don't care. Alliance, they're not being slowed down at all here. As they beat down upon the Oracle, Soneko to fall as well.
It's kind of just falling apart here for NaVi. Like, you pop a defensive split, you only get the Aegis, you don't even defend your tower, and Alliance is continually running at your side of the map. Like, this game is getting way too out of hand. They need to rely now on the Luna. Like, Didgeridoo needs to somehow become a force to be reckoned with in this game. And they, like, it's this Aghanims on Ake. This heal that we were seeing in the previous game.
22 minutes.
It's like the same exact time, right?
It's even better, I believe, than game 1. I think it was like 22 minutes 46 he got it in game 1.
Yeah, so it just... even the Witch Doctor is back up to 1200 gold after these engagements.
Invisibility.
It's really hard for NaVi to make their way back into this one. Their heroes just don't do well when they're playing from behind, Brewmaster especially. Like, Denny's been doing what he can, but the hero is limited, right? Like, he can only disable a little bit, he can throw somebody up in the air, and then hope that the rest of the team can get all the damage out onto one person. And that's really the thing that they've been struggling with, is trying to get that burst in. Because what, the squishiest hero on Alliance is Puck, but the problem is Puck is really hard to kill anyway.
And they don't have lockdown. But what, they've got the Orchid on Gen.
Yeah, but there's a Yules now on S4, so it doesn't even matter if they Orchid. I mean, the Orchid almost got S4 killed when they were fighting near the Roshan pit, but other than that, it hasn't really been super effective. And I mean, it's kind of the item you have to buy because you know that you need something that's going to give you kill potential and give you some kind of presence on the map. But the fact of the matter is, Alliance, their draft is just so strong at this point, and just the fact that they've gotten everything they wanted. They have Ursa, so they got Roche. They got the tier 1 towers down. They're fighting around split and still winning the engagements. They're just rolling right now. Tons of momentum.
As we saw last fight, NaVi did not have the Eclipse at the ready. This time they do. And they are making a very aggressive movement round onto the map. It's going to be potentially a smoke-on-smoke action if Alliance looking for a smoke. Ready? Jumps in immediately onto EGM. The Glimmer Cave's there. Pulled up onto the BKB. And immediately they start to try and clean out the triangle. Split Dross trying to get himself in. We disrupted up defensively by Artstyle. Moving on the sidelines. They pulled out General. General will be the first to fall in this fight. Bulldogs chucked up in the air by Dendy, but Alliance, they're just not dying. Loda jumping forward, looking for his next target. Seneko trying to hold back EGM, but the sustain from Alliance is too much. Ditcheron now comes in with the Eclipse, but it's just not killing anyone, and Admiral Bullock takes a full amount to the face. Finally will fall. NaVi do take a big kill. See if anyone else is going to go down. Their Alliance still playing around with it. Loda's going to be ready to jump in. He's moving in. Build up by the Illuminate. Already S4 hitting the 2-man silence. There's Loda to follow through. Trying to take down Ditcherard. So with the defensive disruption buying some time. There's the false promise as well. Ditcherard may be able to turn and try and fight against Loda. Loda punching in. Can they bring down the bear? They can. They do get the Loda kill. They've taken down 3. But S4 still alive. Playing around with the remainders of NaVi and cleaning up for themselves. Well, General with the Orchid. It's a big kill if they can get it. The Shadow Blade hit does it. NaVi are able to take a favorable trade, but only just.
I mean, that was a big fight for them. They absolutely needed that fight.
Radiant's top tower
It's a little bit strange to me that S4 decided to re-engage after the Bristleback was dead, right? At that point, I guess maybe they were assuming since Split was down, they could just force the issue really hard. But that was a really nice thing for NaVi. The false promise buying so much time, just allowing this right-click damage to come out with the Lunar Blood. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, his Eclipse, he got 4 Lucent Beams off during the engagement. His Glaives are just bouncing everywhere because everyone's just stacked on top of this Luna trying to hit him. And now top, they're going to lose another.
Absolutely, Ake in a whole world of pain. The TP will be coming through. I'm sure it'll be cancelled unless EGM wants to try and do something magical. And he does. He's turned up. Dendy on the side, TPing out. EGM not going to be able to get there in time for a cancel.
That fight from NaVi is a breath of life that they desperately needed.
Let's have a look at the swing. Indeed, it's going to be coming into play, and I imagine...
I mean, that's Aghanims for Artstyle, pretty much. He's got the gold now. Now they can just break the Bristleback, which is huge. That means that Bulldog is going to be a lot less tanky in these fights. As a frontline hero, he can just get destroyed. Being able to change paths on something like an Ursa is also extremely useful. Even with BKB, you can still get kited out very hard. I mean, NaVi for a while there, that was looking kind of sketchy, but...
I mean, we're seeing exactly what we're saying in the draft, just how well Artstyle and Seneko are able to allow Ditcherard to do the damage, as you said. It is that combination, that support backup that the Luna needs, being there for him in these fights, is allowing NaVi to hit back hard, even though they are relatively behind. Or at least they were, as you said. Now with that swing, NaVi striking back hard, bringing themselves nearly back on par with Alliance, but Alliance, of course, not wants to be rumbled or stopped in terms of momentum. They'll look to take down the tier 2 in the mid lane. NaVi coming across, but again, they have got it back up. Even though the longer cooldowns are there, the time has been there for Ditcherard to get the ult back online. So NaVi do have all the tools at their disposal. They're just going to pull all their force Dendy out. They'll get the chance for the final split. Ditcherard with the Eclipse. BKB from Border. They'll have to pull him down with the right click. There's the first demonic purge. We're going to chase down the Bristleback. Can they do it? Yes, they can. Border to fall. Moving in for more. Sending up in the air. Okay. See if they can finish off the coddle as well as Dendy focuses onto coddle. Loda comes in. Oh, the blast! Okay, the Illuminate rips Dendy to shreds. Loda bubbles into General. They'll jump in. They're looking for the team-wide alliance and they're going to find it. Ditcherard left alone. Triple kill from Loda.
That blast, oh my god, it just did so much to NaVi and healed Alliance, like back at the full health. That item is actually just destroying these games. Like in the first one, allowed the siege, that time Ake turns the fight around with a perfect Illuminate placement. I mean, that just showcases why we were talking about how Alliance are so far ahead, because in the proper situation, when they get their abilities off in the right fashion, you know, S4 killed the backboard, took down Seneko, and I think he also killed Artstyle as well. And then after that point, the supports are already caught off by the puck, and then you just have these really tanky supports and the Ursa just punching you in the face with that Illuminate. There's just not really much you can do about it.
And this is that point as well. NaVi, they will be back up. No final split. Eclipse either. And here we have the repeat of game 1 where Ake just sits to the back, healing up the team.
It is nighttime though.
Tenzi jumps forward, an immediate reaction with the coil from S4. There's the backup for Seneko and Arsdal, keeping Tenzi alive. The Alliance unable to jump in for more, but they get the job done, take the melee racks away from NaVi. And they'll just back off and look to rinse and repeat in a future lane. NaVi will just have to gather themselves together, wait for those big cooldowns, and then maybe they could try at another attempt. One of the things that they're going to be looking for as well is, of course, Bulldog's BKB to have that duration go down. It's still at 8 seconds, but we're seeing at the moment they blow a lot on it. Whoa, the sentry ward is there. And he's been caught out. Alliance take the Nature's Prophet. Beautiful play. I think that was S4 in fact with the sentry. No, hey, someone dropped it down. Probably
yeah, they had one probably doing it.
It was Ake. It was Ake.
Anyway, his inventory was full. Yeah, it has to be Ake.
I mean, Ake.
But during this time, you know, General's creating some space.
This is good.
Yeah, they need this Aegis for sure. There's no way that Ditchyrock can live through the fights if the backline is getting bursted so heavily.
And they really can't afford for Loda to get the Aegis in the fights. There's 2 lives on that Bursy Wursy. Pretty scary. Shiva's Guard's been finished by S4. He's continued to farm very well this game, as we can see, remaining himself 3rd on the net worth.
I like the Shiva's choice as well from S4. I think it fits the game perfectly.
Oh, big items all around as well for Alliance. Greaves on Bristleback, Aghanims on Egypt.
That's going to help him so much. So when he gets low on health, he's going to get that 15 bonus armor from the aura boost on the Guardian Greaves. And then the break mechanic isn't really gonna, it's still gonna hurt him, but it's not gonna just be like a death sentence necessarily, and he might have to use like a 2nd or maybe even 3rd demonic purge on cooldown to make sure that he gets those kills now on the Shadow Demon. But yeah, NaVi still have a little bit of work to do. It's not that they're necessarily getting out farmed or anything, because they do have a Furion and a Luna. Those heroes are great at just continually hitting creeps. It's more just that Alliance have kind of hit their stride, and you know, barring that one team fight where NaVi managed to pull it out and S4 re-engaging maybe a little bit too aggressively, it's kind of just been the Alliance show here in game number 2. But you know, there's still a little bit of fight left here in NaVi.
And certainly more so it seems than in game 1. And obviously at this point, 30 minutes in, the first game was only 27 minutes young, as Alliance were able to close it up. This time suddenly it's proving to be a little bit more of a test for them, as NaVi have upped their game. Do still need to continue to do so even more. We suddenly get a little bit of a swing round, but Alliance quick to recover and maintain the lead that they've had since the beginning.
I mean, the big question for me is there an item that Dendi can get, or that Ditchyrock can get, that's going to really change the face of the game? Because BKB it's not bad, but it doesn't really do anything against Ursa. And you have this illusion-based siege lineup where I feel like stuff like Scotty is just super strong. So I'm really curious to see what Ditchyrock decides is the solution for this particular situation.
Dire's top tower
Zip top S4, poking and prodding at the base of NaVi. General comes in, gets the Orchid. With the yours, but still, he's fine. Blink out. Nothing for NaVi to do about that one with just the Nature's Prophet on the defense. He's looking to potentially come up and join the cause up top, but the side of NaVi, 4 heroes positioned in mid. We'll look for the tier 2. Ake trying to do his best to slow the push with the blinding light. Snake gets a nice deep ward down as well, so NaVi will have the vision
middle tower is under
if
attack.
Alliance decide to jump in on them. Still top lane where General and S will continue to play around with each other. Bringing the high ground Loda. There's the angle, jumps in onto Wildstyle, immediate turn around, demonic purge, going to slow down the useful. Doesn't need enough to save Wildstyle now, but therefore the speed jam is down. NaVi have to be careful. It's an Aghanim's death ward. Bulldog trying to take out Seneko, has to pulse promise himself. Now Ditchyrock comes out with the Eclipse. One more onto Loda with Gillo, but his Glimmer Cage healed up by EGM. He's going to be saved. Ditchyrock can't find the kill, and NaVi they've lost 2. Ditchyrock's out of mana, alive, closing in for another kill. He's got the Aegis, Ditchyrock, but he hasn't got a team. He's been left all alone as Alliance surround him. Ditchyrock, he'll try and turn and do a little bit of damage in return, but Alliance will bring down the Luna as well. Again, finding 3 kills, NaVi unable to do anything to stop it. And it's another fight where we're seeing Primal Split and Eclipse used, and NaVi unable to find a single kill.
That's a really bad sign. Like, the Glimmer Capes and the BKB is just doing too much. And that's why we're emphasizing the importance of NaVi they needed to 5-man and they needed to get kills and towers with their
Dire's
ultimates.
middle
That is
barracks are under
the
attack.
only goal of this team. You fight around split, you fight around eclipse, you take
Dire's
kills, you
middle
push
barracks.
buildings. That is what they do. And as soon as that fails,
Dire's
you don't have
structures
catch.
fortified.
You don't have like this
Dire's
initiation
top
like a Bat
tower is
Rider
under
or a
attack.
Beastmaster with a Blink or anything like that. So
In with a 3-man coil inside of us. Self-disruption from Ardstar, but Bulldo with the BKB ready to chase down. Senenga false promising the Demon, keeps him alive. EGM's Death Ward, none of them to take down General. Tron cancels the channeling with the Lucent Beam. Denton standing still. So be careful of the mana leak to Tron. Lots the cheese, it's going to be fine with the tier 3 certainly is, and Alliance will find it. Bulldo still hanging around. Like Flash from Ardstar, looking to contain it, but Loda jumps in, tries to rip Ardstar to shreds, uses the ultra, remove the Fate's Edict disarm, takes down Shadow Demon, and now towards Ditcheron. Then he jumps back in, trying to slow down the advance on Alliance, with a blinding light from Agate, pulling Denny into the reaches of Alliance. He's starting to fall, buys back immediately on the through. Ditcheron can go down, it's a dieback for the Luna, and GG is called. Alliance have done it again, 2-0 this series, simply outclassing NaVi in both games.
I really gotta say, they obviously understand NaVi very well going into the series. These teams have played against each other a ridiculous amount of times. But as far as solutions for all the ways that NaVi like to play, just seem to be on point. I always felt like NaVi's draft, it was something that's in their wheelhouse, like they're comfortable with it, but it was always so hard for them to win the game because of a specific set of reasons. Like in the first game, you had this Mag and a Lifestealer in power, and NaVi were under the gun, right? Like they had to push, they had to fight, they had to dictate tempo.